All right, welcome. Here we are for the fall major at On the Screws Golf. Welcome. It has been a while, but we are here, ready to compete, ready to challenge, and of course, ready to banner. So let's get into it. I have to admit, everybody, that intro gets me fired up for sure. It is awesome. So here we go. Welcome. Fall Major Eagle Peak. Ready to compete, ready to challenge, ready to banner, right? This is what we all are waiting for every time we see a major, 4 times a year. Double the points, double the clan points, double the ego boost, so to speak, and double the bragging rights. So with that being said, we have a couple things we're going to do tonight. Let's take a look at hole number 1. All right, that's hole number 1 right up here in the corner. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the notes over here, all right? And I think what's important on this one, I am not going to go and do animations all through here. You know, you have the Jesse Bose of the world who does that. You have Tommy who does that. You have Tommy and RJ run through the text guides for you. So I think you have enough information when it comes to diagrams and information. Yet here, what we do at On the Screws Golf is we break it down a little bit more detailed for you, with a little bit more experienced clubs. I mean, we have anywhere between a Viper all the way up to a Sniper 7. We have a Viper and a Big Dog 7. We have a Extra Mile 5 and an Extra Mile 7. So we have ranges that we play. So we have 4 or 5 accounts that we choose from. We take those notes from all those different qualifying rounds, and we come up with these notes that you see here tonight. So I guess what I want to start off with is the following right here. Aggressive. That's right. It's an aggressive rookie type of program that we're running here. And I hope everyone has an opportunity to take a look at these notes and get some value out of them, okay? So with that being said, let's go ahead and start. Clear all that out of there, see if we can get rid of that. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and hole number 1. We're going to go down that left-hand side, okay? Let me use, that's the wrong hand, this hand. We're going to go down this side over here, and we're going to bounce like right here prior to the woods. Our first bounce is then going to bounce all the way to the edge of those woods and the trees, and you're going to have that second bounce hit just short of the rough/fairway cut. It's going to bounce into that rough. It's going to roll out gently. It's going to roll down that hill and be short, if not in that shadow, as you can see up here, right here where my finger is. So with that, we're going to go ahead and use an extra mile 6 or 7. You're going to use that full top spin. You're going to full left spin on it. You're going to bounce off the fairway at max adjustment, and you're going to make sure that second bounce hits the rough through the trees, okay? So I guess what I'm trying to tell you is you're going to position your placement of your first bounce, okay? You're going to make sure that the full top spin and the 2 left spin hit that rough. Then you're going to max adjust for the wind at plus 20%. You're going to take your shot with no overpower. It's going to hit into that rough, and it's going to dribble out down into that nice little angled area down to the left. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add 10% on our second shot, and we're going to use what I use is a Goliath. You can actually use a Saturn here and try for a backspin shot if you'd like to, like 4 or 5 backspin, and try to knock it in that way with a bounce shot into the hole. We've done that in the past with a Goliath and a Saturn. What we're going to try here, though, is that rough bump. It's a very thin margin for error up here, way past that bunker right there. It's very thin. Most importantly, on this rough bump, it kind of is like a hump, okay? And if your ball lands here into that hump, it's going to pop straight up and then just dribble out short of the green. So what you have to do is you have to make sure that it's more towards the far end of this rough for a rough bump, but you have to be precise. You have to be precise on hitting it perfect and your adjustments for the wind, okay? 10%, you're going to go about 3 to 3.5 to 3 3/4 top spin for the rough bump, and you're going to aim that ball guide just to the left of the hole, okay? And you can see down there under shot 2, it says max adjust, and top of that yellow bullseye must cut the rough and the fairway, okay? So that's pretty much hole number 1. We're expecting at least... Geez, oh man, if you're going to play 3 rounds, you're going to play a qualifier, you're going to play an opener, and then you're going to play a weekend. So that's 2, 4, that's 5 chances. We need to make at least 2 eagles out of those 5 chances, all right? And hopefully it's 1 on the opener and 1 on the weekend, okay? So 1 of 50% of the time on the opening round, 50% of the time on the weekend round. So that's what we're looking for. All right, let's go to hole number 2. Hide that one, and we'll come up. Hole number 2. Okay, hole number 2. This is a sniper 5, 6, and or 7 katana ball. You're adding 30% downhill from the front tee. Again, we're going to come over here to this rough right over here, short of these trees. All right, to the right of that shadow. Right in that rough area right there. And what you're going to do, you're going to use 0 topspin. You're going to full right spin. You're going to use a katana ball. And then what you're going to do is you're going to aim the ball guide through the hole. Then you're going to adjust it over to the right side of the hole, okay? Completely to the outside edge of the cup. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and do your max adjustment on 30% for your sniper. Then you're going to pull it back, take your shot, hit it perfect, bounce in that rough. It's going to roll out, and it's just going to bend just so beautifully right into that hole for a hole in 1. Okay? Real basic positioning and shot making on this hole. Not much to it. As long as you know that it's 30% downhill adjustment on the elevation and it's a max adjustment, you should be pretty good. Hit it perfect. You're going to have a really, really nice result. It's going to be super close. It's going to ring out, or it's going in the hole. One of those 3 nice options. Okay, let's go to hole number 3. Let's close this one out. Here we go. Hole number 3. All right, our first par 5 of the tournament. So I should say this is hole 3 and 12. So it was 1 and 10, 2 and 11, and now 3 and 12. Here, we have options here, right? You can try to use the extra mile 6 or 7, full backspin, or excuse me, full top spin, 2 right spin, full overpower, hit it as close to perfect as possible with a Titan ball, bounce it over that little fairway rough right there, which separates this fairway from that fairway. You're going to fly that. It's going to roll all the way out near this shadow out here. Then you're going to have yourself a long iron in. Now, the problem with a long iron for the Goliath is you just don't have enough backspin to keep it next to the hole, because that bunker right there and that pin are so close together that you don't have enough backspin on that Goliath. But that's what I use. I'm not familiar with the Saturn. I do have the Saturn. Oh, you can't see it, but you can see in the clubs, Big Topper 456, Sniper, Guardian, or Saturn. But I use the Goliath. If you run into a problem, you can always let the ball guide go past the hole, use that backstop, and have it come back down with full backspin if you want to do that, if you don't have enough space there. But since the Saturn has more backspin than the Goliath, you might give yourself an opportunity to hit the ball between the bunker and the hole with enough backspin where you're going to have the ball guide beyond the pin in the cup. So when it bounces, it's going to bounce just past it and come back a little bit and give yourself a chance for albatross that way. Okay. So Big Topper 4, 5, or 6, full top 2 right, hit it perfect. You're going to have to adjust for how much or how close you want to get on the drive, landing it in this first fairway, and how close you want to get to that rough right there. Land it here. It's going to bounce all the way up there. It's going to roll down into here. Give yourself that second shot for an albatross with a long iron. If some people don't have this type of big topper or extra mile, let's say you have an extra mile 4, you're definitely going to have to bounce it here into that next area. If you have a big topper 4, I think you're in the 212 yard range. You'll hit this. You still have 100. You'll still end up in this range. So you might come in with a Viper and or a Sniper shot or a Guardian. So you see all those options up there. So depending on the value and the accuracies of your clubs and how mature they are, you're going to have to make some decisions here. But if you're playing Big Topper and more aggressive clubs in this rookie division, such as Sniper 5, 6, or 7, Guardian 4, 5, or 6, Saturn 5, 6, or 7, you're going to have yourself an easy time making eagle on this every single time, and maybe give yourself an albatross 1 or 2 times out of the 5 times we play it this upcoming week. Okay, that is the par 5 hole number 3. Let's move on. All right, hole number 4. Let's find our next picture. There it is, par 3. Okay, rookie, not too many options here that are quality in my opinion. So what I say is we're going to land it right here, okay, with 1.5 topspin. You're going to have about 6.5 right spin, and your ball is going to be your first bounce, second bounce, third bounce is going to be about, what does it say? Third bounce on the top right corner of the third square onto the green. Now, what I should have put in here, which I did not, can we put it in now? Yeah, I'm sorry, I did. Half the red ring, just cutting the right rough, okay? So, make sure you're aware of that. That is something that's very critical. Let me see if I can annotate this for us. Right here. Red ring, just cutting the right rough. Then after you do this adjustment first, of course, after the 1.5 topspin, 6.5 right spin, you're going to come here, find that red ring, make sure it's getting halfway through the right rough. Then you're going to look for this one right here. The third bounce on the top right corner of the third square onto the green. If you put that right there, so it's going to go first bounce, second bounce, and then it's going to be, so it's going to be square, 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 collar of the green. So it's going to bounce. So this is your first bounce. This is your tee shot right here. Okay, tee shot comes in, then it bounces the second time, then it's going to be right here in this corner, right here, and then the hole's up here, and it should just roll right into the hole for you. Okay, so 1.5 topspin, 6.5 right spin. This is a mess over here, this drawing, but that's what I'm trying to illustrate here. Is your first tee shot's going to roll in, bounce the second time. Your third bounce is going to be in that third square onto the green into that upper right-hand corner of that square. Should give you a really great opportunity for a hole-in-one each and every time you take that, okay? All right, so let's clear that out of here. Clear all of that out. Perfect. Close that. All right, so again, Goliath 5, 6, or 7. I like to use a kingmaker here. I like to cut the wind down on all the par 3s as much as possible. Plus, it gives you a lot of spin options and curl. So that's why I choose the kingmaker. You can use whatever you want. I like to go for the gusto. I have plenty of these different balls in my accounts, so I'm not afraid to use them, especially in a major, especially in a tournament. Hey, you want to play tour play with katanas and, you know, basic balls all day, probably smart thing to do because it makes it more difficult, but gives you the opportunity to become better. But when you come to a tournament, now's the time you need to open up those, purse strings, buy some really good balls, get ready to utilize those balls and go ahead and destroy the holes and give yourself as best of opportunity to get it in as few strokes as possible to attain gold. So that's my philosophy. All right. That was hole number 4. Let's go to hole number 5 real quick. All right, let's close out 4 and go to 5 and 14. All right, so you can see up here, you know, we're going for it again, okay? We are not going to settle for a tee shot that's going to come up here and then it's going to bend around up here and just sit up in this corner and then have a 30% downhill adjustment down to that hole. There's no way. What we're going to do is we're going to go full top, full right. I'm going to bend it up in here. It's going to come up and it's going to roll all the way down through that rough, past that bunker, and it's going to land right there, short of the green. And you're going to give yourself a firefly or an end bringer shot right into the green for an eagle, okay? So kingmaker, extra mile 6 or 7, full top spin, full right spin, full overpower, hit it as perfect as you can. And obviously you're going to have to make max adjustment for the wind value, of course. It's going to be probably a southeast to northwest wind. So it's going to push you out there. So you're going to make your adjustment, push it back up to max. So adjust, push back up, take your shot, give yourself an opportunity to get all the way through that rough down to the bottom of the hill and give yourself an easy eagle chip. Okay, so you can see right here, it's a kingmaker, extra mile 6 or 7, 0% adjustment on the elevation for the first shot, 30% if you happen to get stuck at the top of the hill, and the adjustments are for a long iron from the top or a wedge. Okay, so full top, full right, max adjustment, full overpower, trying to get to the ball over the hill and down near the green. Second shot, chip shot, firefly, end bringer. Okay, straightforward for me. A lot of people may not like playing aggressively and play this way, but in my opinion, this is the only way to beat your opponents in your brackets is to make shots up. This is a hole you need to get an eagle on at least 70 to 80% of the time. If you're missing it, you're just missing a great opportunity to separate yourself from the others in your bracket. Okay, hole 6. Here we go. Move it up a little bit. See the whole screen. All right, let's close that one out. Hole 6 and hole 15. This also is a par 5. Extra mile 6 and 7. This plays on the first shot. You're obviously going to bounce it here, and then it's going to bounce either through here and roll out and get in this range, or you're going to, I can't do this. This is crazy. bounce here, bounce there, and roll out all the way up to here. So my assumption in with an extra mile 6 or 7, you're going to have no problem. And let's take a look. You're going to go full topspin, 2 right spin, max adjust, then you're going to push it back all the way up to max, okay, after your 20% adjustment. Then what's going to happen is you're either going to roll out all the way out to 403 yards with a max over power Titan ball, okay? If you get to 403 or further, you're probably going to be in max Goliath rough bump range, which is, and when I say full over power, annotate. Let's go to colors. When I say full overpower or half overpower, that means on the driver, okay? So you're going to come out here and you're going to hit it at 403 if you use full overpower. If you pull the ball all the way back through the power circle and let it go at full overpower, you'll more than likely at 6 or 7 land around 403 yards. If you use half the overpower, you'll still be able to get a bounce shot here out to here, and you're probably in that 385 to 390 range. If you're in that 385 to 390 range, you're then going to be able to use 385 to mid to medium sniper rough bump range, all right? So if you're more comfortable with a sniper, use half the overpower. If you're okay with the Goliath and you want it closer, use full overpower, okay? Or play with it in the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday qualifying rounds and see how you do. See what you prefer and give yourself an opportunity to get that albatross, okay? So on your second shot, if you're in the sniper 6-7 range, it's a 1-to-1 adjustment rough bump, okay? You do see that most everybody's saying it's a minus 10%. I have found out that on a sniper shot, that 1-to-1 adjust rough bump seems to work out really nicely. And we just put it right to the left edge of the hole, and it seems to roll right up and get in the hole, okay? For the Goliath, we may want to use that minus 10% and then aim it right at the hole. Use 4.5 top spin, 1 right spin on the left edge, and give yourself a chance at making the albatross there. But all of this right here, these notes should give you almost the guaranteed eagle each and every time. If this overpower or this half power, you can hit it straight and almost perfect. If you can just give yourself a slight variance left or right of great ball, you're going to be fine. You're going to make a great eagle, okay? All right, so that is hole number 6. Let me get out of here. Close out that. We'll pull up hole number 7. All right, hole number 7. Par 3. This one's a little bit tricky. So this one's kind of like you got to figure out if you want to go to the right-hand side over here and bounce it in over here. If you want to come up here and land it right up in here near these trees and then back spin and right spin, and it's going to come up and land up in here. This, I don't see you making too many hole-in-ones on this. This is more of a conservative, let's get it close for a birdie and get out of here shot. So what I suggest you do is you come up here on this left side with full back spin, full right spin. Make sure you see where the ball guide is. Get it up with about a full ball of curl to the right. Hit perfect, and you're going to add 15% adjustment on the wind, or the elevation, I should say, and give yourself a chance to land that ball just underneath the hole for an easy uphill putt. And if it happens to go in the hole for a hole-in-one at some point over your 5 efforts, opening, qualifying, opening, and weekend, then, man, you got one on the field. But I don't really expect too many people making a hole-in-one on a regular basis here. You're going to see your fair share of them, but it's going to be because it just happened to go in, okay? Not too many people are going to be able to hone that you know, that adjustment in to where it's going to be in every single time. All right, that's pretty straightforward. I mean, again, you want to use the right-hand side, you're going to use a long iron, you're going to use like 1.5 top spin, you're going to full left spin, it's going to bounce here, bounce up near this rough, and roll down the hill, and give yourself a chance at it. So I, again, would rather come up this way and go into the hill that way. Which way? Go. I can't do it. Go into the hill versus coming this way and going with the hill, and you're going to go away from the hole. So that's my suggestion. On the left side, you're going into the hill. On the right side, you're going with the hill, and it could give yourself a chance to bring that bunker on the right-hand side in play, as well as go over the green or a significantly uphill, longer putt than if you were going from the left side to the right. Okay, a lot of words there. Hopefully you aren't confused about that one. Okay, hole 8 and hole number 17. All right, another important hole that we make eagle on. All right, everybody, we're trying to get you to 14 or 15 under on each side, and these are the two holes that you do. You got to make eagles on all the par 5s. You got to make birdies on all the par 4s. You got to pick up maybe one on hole number 2, a par 3, and you got to make these 2 par 4s as eagles. If you do that, 12 is normal. You're going to give yourself one for a par 3 is 13, and if you pick up this hole number 8 and number 6, something like that, you're going to get 2 more, so you're going to be at 15. So 15 and 15 is minus 30. Okay, unbeatable in rookie. Okay, you're not going to get beat in rookie at minus 30 more chances than not. Sometimes you do if you get a wicked bracket, but in most cases you're going to take a gold banner home or a bronze or a silver. So keep that in mind. This is a hole that we need to dominate. So with that being said, my opinion, humble, big topper 4, big topper 5, big topper 6. More than likely, it's going to be a big topper 4 or 5. That's going to be 217 yards in the air, 100 yards top spin. And what we're going to try and do is obviously we're going to land it right here before this bunker on the first bounce with full top spin, 2 left spin. You're going to aim between these last 2 trees right here, okay? You're going to put your ball guide right through there. It's going to come down here, and it's going to roll right into that shadow right there, just short of the green on that fairway down there, and a little simple, easy eagle, firefly, or end bringer chip for you for the eagle, okay? Here they are. 0% on the elevation. If you decide to go over here and stay up at the hill, or if you go over here and stay up on the hill, 30% shot down here, 30% shot down here. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to give yourself a 30% downhill elevation change and try to make a chip in for eagle there, when you can take the big topper, full top spin, 2 left spin, and shoot it through that tree with no problem. And again, if you take a look at shot number 1, full top, 2 left spin, no elevation, max adjustment, bounce on the fairway in the front bunker in the fairway, just to the left of the far right tree, and it's going to go right through and down the hill. All right. So it sounds so easy until you get up there and you get nervous and you have to hit perfect. Trust me, relax, have a great time. It's a video game. It's only gold in the balance. You're going to do great. I wish all of you guys the best, and gals the best of luck when you play these critical holes, because they are important. All right. Last but not least, par 5, number 9 and number 18. Here it is. All right. Again, 2 options. I like the left side because of the rough bump. The right side's a really great option too. So if you take it and you take the rough bump here and you land up in here, then you have a big dog to land here and then try to squeeze it through that little opening onto the green. Okay? Give yourself an easy eagle putt. Okay, let's take a look at the left side. you're going to use the big topper, full top spin, full right spin, hit it perfect. You're going to bounce it all the way out to here in that 405-yard range. You're going to have the big dog or a sniper, depending on what level you have. Sniper 5, 6, or 7, they all work. And you're going to try to hit this little rough right here, full top spin, full left spin, and get it up near the hole for an easy eagle. Now, the only problem with this side here, the tee shot, that second shot, to get yourself a chance at a lower level sniper like a 5, doesn't have a lot of side spin. So the problem is you have to come really, really close to that edge of that rough over there. And if you don't hit it perfect, bam and bam. Goes up over the green into that rough, and then you have to have that little Nirvana chip shot where you bounce it just an inch and then it rolls down, and you have to pray to the Playdemic gods that the algorithm is correct and it goes in the hole for eagle. So don't do that to yourselves. If you can't have enough side spin and you can't get it to the hole, don't play it that way. Just hit it in the middle up here in that rough and just get it on the green. Just hit it with top spin and just let it go up there 5 feet from the hole, put it in for eagle, and move on. Do not become a hero, all right? If you're hitting 50, 40, 60% perfect balls on your drives and your second shots, stay away from anywhere near the edge of these rough bumps. Just go into the middle of the rough, full top spin, and get it out on the green, make your putt, okay? Critical that we don't make mistakes, okay? That's pretty much it there, everybody. So right here, sniper's your choice at 405 yards or greater, 3 to 4 topspin, full left spin, 0% elevation, 1-to-1 adjustment, aim at the cup. And if you're less than that, you may want to consider the big dog, depending on how far you're going to try to hit your drive and bounce it forward. You may want to go ahead and bring the big dog, which is a lot safer because you can definitely land back here further and further to the right because it has significantly more side spin and significantly more top spin, which will give yourself an easier guaranteed eagle because you're not going to have any pressure at all. You're going to put it in the middle up there, full top, full left, hit it up there, and it'll land on the green somewhere, and you have an easy putt at it, okay? So I think we're pretty much done with this tutorial or walkthrough on the aggressive rookie tutorial for the fall major, which starts tomorrow. It's 10:30 here, right? So that's in 4.5 hours. So in 4.5 hours, someone in the universe, on the globe, will be logging in for the first tee shot, the inaugural tee shot of the 2019 fall major of Playdemic on Eagle Peak. So to that individual, best of luck to you, sir and ma'am. And to everybody else watching this video, best of luck to all of you. And again, if anybody has any questions or concerns or comments, you can put them in the chat. You can put them in the stream, in the comments. You can subscribe if you're not already subscribed. You can hit the thumbs up button. Most importantly, you can go to my Facebook, Hank Morris in Poland, Poland, Ohio, and send me a friend request if you're not already a friend. If you are a friend, you have questions, PM me, private message me, send me your questions, and I'll get back to you immediately, and we'll go ahead and get your questions answered. Okay, so with that being said, one last time, I thank you for being here. I wish you all the very, very best in this upcoming major tournament. It is critical that your clan is counting on you for those double points. You're counting on yourself to be amazing in this very difficult course. Yet at the same time, it's a game. Have fun, go kill it, and banter up. See you later.